What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands. I'm your boy, Joe Prophet. You know, I'm always got a couple members of the council with me, dog. You know what I mean? Today I got my guy from the UK, Specs, and my dude, Maniac, Sanchez Maniac McGee, man. I'm gonna bring my boys up, man. You know what I mean? Bring them to the stage one time.
Yo.
Specs, what it do?
What's good, my bro, Joe? What's good, Maniac?
Maniac, what's going on, man? What's going on, man?
What's the word? Hey, look, I said I had to fix my background because the only nigga gonna be in my background is me because I do this shit.
Okay.
Let's stop playing like I don't do this shit. Like, we ain't just boxing out here, bro. That's me right there, bro. Stop playing with me.
I'm kind of fucking with that background. It's kind of lit.
I did that,
it's a statement at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even see
really out there.
I can't even see.
We got some new viewers, come to the stage or whatever. They can, they see that in there. You ain't just talking shit. They like, oh, okay, he's done this in some form of fashion. So I definitely fuck.
Only going up, but we gonna save that for later on. My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I had it set up like, I told you guys how I wanted to run it as far as like what we're gonna discuss and stuff like that. But I kind of want to switch it up, man. I want to start off with this, and then we can get into the regular program because we done had some real live shit go on in the world of boxing. As long as with some people would consider dull. You know what I'm saying? We have some dull shit going on as well. And what I'm speaking of, for those that don't know, first of all, I'm talking about, Conor Benn versus Eubank Jr. or Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. However you want to put it, however you want to slice it. It was a hell of a fight. It was something that, at first we wasn't fucking asking for. Nobody was looking for that. Nobody wanted it or was thinking about it. We heard about it. We was like, it's cool. Then we heard about what they were trying to do to Eubank. We was like, what the fuck? And it was a whole bunch of places you could have went with that. Then you had the Fate of Fury card, Ryan and Rowley, Devin and Ramirez, T.O. and Barbosa Jr. And then you had the Canelo card. So we had a lot that went on. Like, we had a lot of shit that went on, you know what I'm saying? But let's go with this Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Because, Specs, that was over on your side of the pond.
Yeah, man.
But that mania and that madness and that excitement spilled over here to this side of the pond. You know what I mean? We definitely anticipated that fight. We enjoyed, what went on. The theatrics, you know what I mean? Everything that came with that fight. But, kind of give me your point of view from being over there, being right in the mix of it. Like, how was that? You know what I'm saying? From a UK perspective, just for those that want to kind of get a complete understanding of what really went down last weekend.
Oh, man. Well, first and foremost, it was the egg slap that echoed around the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? When Eubank Jr. brought that egg out of when they did that first face off at the first press conference for this fight, and he drew for that egg, the way, like, we saw what that did online. But in the UK, again, before that moment, nobody was really talking about the fight.
Right.
It was not. It didn't cross over into all the households before that slap. And
for sure.
I have to commend Eubank Jr. for putting his heart on his sleeve, in essence, because that's what he did. A lot of this media, along this media build-up, in a very, very in Eubank fashion, I would say, because he did a real job of controlling himself. Conor Benn and Nigel Benn and Eddie Hearn, they was on the onslaught the whole time. Do you know what I mean? And it was very interesting to watch. You saw the Piers Morgan, that interview as well, where that was post the slap. And I guess Conor Benn was still somewhat angry about it, but it really worked its ways into everyone's household. My grandma was asking me about this fight, yo.
Come on, bro. She was
85
crazy.
years old. She
Come on.
wanted Eubank Jr. to win. Hey, it
Come
was
on,
amazing.
dog.
It was
Bro.
amazing. Like
That, yeah.
the atmosphere in the UK that Saturday, there wasn't a pub you could go to. There wasn't a venue that didn't have a TV that wasn't showing the fight.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a problem. Like I said, for especially, you know, you got a guy that came up 2 weight classes, wasn't even a champion in that weight class that he came up from, really was prospecting in that weight class, you know, probably, if anything, probably was on the verge of becoming a contender for real. And then he goes up 2 weight classes to, you know, to fight a guy that's been a contender and had world title fights in, you know, at 160 pounds. And is a formidable opponent to any 160 pounder. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I don't know, the shit, it didn't fucking make sense, bro. It did not make sense. But after that slap, after that egg hit that man's head, this shit all made sense. Like, I'm telling you, bro, that right there, as authentic as the anger was that Conor Benn had, that shit like magnified all over. Like, man, bro, no, the magnification, that nigga's anger, bro. That nigga was like a kid that you just snatched the controller out the game on this nigga, something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was losing it, bro. He was extremely angry.
Right.
Like, bro, you could just feel it. Like, you could feel that dude. Pause. Like, you could feel the frustration. It was insane. I was like, dog, this little dude is. Now that was the perfect way to, man. Shout out to Eubank Jr. dog. Like,
Bro.
he did that, bro. Because I'm telling you, if he don't slap him, if he don't do that specs, I don't know that fight do numbers like that.
This is it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it, like, you know what I'm saying? That buildup was crazy. He slapped him at the first one.
Yeah.
He slapped him at the first one, dog.
Yep. That there was no talking, there was no amount of talking that Eddie Hearn could have done that was going to sell the fight that slap did.
None. You know, as much as you want to take it back to the dads, and everybody was like, all right, cool, that's cool. You know, some people out there would have gravitated towards that, but not like when you put your hands on this boy with an egg. Like, nobody's ever done that. That shit has never happened.
And you know, yeah, because
unprecedented.
A lot of people wasn't aware that Conor Benn of the failed drugs test from 2.5 years ago. So when he slapped him with an egg, everybody's asking, why did he slap him with an egg though? Yeah. And then the story about the 9 eggs and all of that stuff there comes out, and everyone's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Eubank Jr. is a genius.
You feel me?
Bro, run it up.
I mean, yeah, you got to give it to him, you know. And to be honest, like, I got to give it to Senior too, because, you know, depending on how you look at it, you might have think that he tried to steal the shine or, you know, kind of steal the show or whatever. That nigga amplified that hoe. Like, what? Hey, no, him telling everybody publicly, I'll never be in your corner. He's a man and doing all that shit. Hey, like, he wasn't gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? All for the biggest moment of his son's life, and him just showing up. Dog, pulling up in a Rolls Royce truck though is crazy. Now, I ain't gonna lie, people don't understand the magnitude of that. My niggas showed up. Hey, that's big boss talk. You know what I'm saying? He showed up in a black double R truck. Some of y'all ain't never seen one of these.
Bro.
You welcome. Bro.
That is like, it's crazy, because that's actually one of the biggest pops in boxing history. We're going to talk about that forever. Like, the two sons had the third fight that their fathers didn't have, and with all the drama, and Eubank Sr. turning up at the final minute.
The final minute. Nobody's seen him. And then he's just there. It was that's epic, dog. I swear to God. Shout out to fucking Matchroom. Shout out to Turkey out of shit because supposedly Turkey tried to take the credit for this nigga showing up last minute like that. Whatever, Turkey, no problem. Hey, but whoever, like the energy, you know what I mean? Eubank Sr. for just being a real stand-up OG. You know what I'm saying? Like showing niggas like you could go through with your kids and even say shit about them publicly that you may or may not mean or whatever. But guess what, though? When it's time to support and show up, your ass is there. And that's what matters more than anything.
Yep.
That is what matters more than anything. So, you know, shout out to Eubank Sr. because, you know, that emotion right there, I know that touch, nigga, fuck the UK. Nigga, that touch hearts around the world. Like, come on, man. That don't have nothing to do with color, nothing. Like, that is literally just, you know what I'm saying, on some family shit. Like, that just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. It
from
was
the
crazy.
heart, like everything about that. Because even everything Eubank Sr. was saying about the fight the first time round and the second time round, I agree with. I just understood that Junior, he had a moral duty to boxing to do what he did. To prove and cement that if you're a cheat, you can't. Do you know what I'm saying? You can walk around with your head held high. You can get cleared by boards and all of that stuff. Use whatever roots of nepotism you have to get yourself back into contention. But now you've spun the block to come and see me again. We're gonna address that in this. We're gonna address that from a couple years back, bro. Because you tried to bring me to 157. And then you tried to juice yourself up. So what was you trying? You was trying to do some real damage to me.
Exactly. Y'all already trying to kill me, but then you cheating, trying to really make. But see, that's why Senior was saying it was a public, public
Slaughter.
execution. Yeah. That's why he was saying that they was trying to do to Junior, because it really was like, bro, this dude juiced up, and you trying to make this dude come to 57.
Bro.
And he lost $500K because he came a half pound over 60. Come on, dog. Like, shout out to Eubank Jr., bro. Like, you know, pushing through the adversity, you know, doing what needs to be done, still getting it done, even though it wasn't the best of terms and conditions. That's why I say, if they do a rematch, man, it got to be on Eubank terms. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not abiding by none of that stupid ass shit y'all tried to do the first time. Matter of fact, I might bring your bitch ass to 68. How about that?
Bro?
Yeah. Let me bring your little ass up to 68 and really, you know what I'm saying, put hands on you. Because this shit right here is crazy. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So, but Chaz, man, what you think about the Eubank Sr. and Conor Benn situation? You know what I mean?
I don't really think much of the situation. I think the fight was a hell of a fight. I pretty much agree that without the egg, they wouldn't have been shit. But the fight, I got to tip my hat off to them. Them boys got in there and they showed that they belong in the future of making money, this sport. So they got definitely top 3 of fight of the year so far for me, for sure.
Top 3? Who's the other 2?
You can't put me on the spot like that.
No, okay. I mean,
I have to go. Like, I really have to honestly go back to the drawing board because, like, I'm not like the simple boxing fan. Like underrated fights might get my attention more than the other one. So I got to go back and see all the fights that I remember watching this year and see. I do remember that one. Nah, see, that one was better. So I got to go back and do my homework first, and I can get you an answer next episode for sure.
Not saying that. I mean, that's cool. That'll work.
This is the first episode we're gonna introduce who gonna catch these hands homework. Catch these hands homework, you know.
Nah, we could do that. We could do that. Okay. All right, man. So now let's get to what some people will say was underwhelming. The underwhelming part of the weekend with the Fatal Fury card, with Rolly and Ryan, with Tio and Barbosa Jr. You know what I'm saying? I'll start with you, Specs. What did you think about the weekend? Because it was kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had guys arriving to the ring in the cars, which we've never seen before. You know, the guys looking nervous as hell. You know what I mean? Damn near even scared, not knowing if somebody from the New York street would jump out on them or, you know, whatever. Rolly looked terrified. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking back at it, you know. I went back watching. I'm looking. He just looked nervous as hell, bro. Like, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, hey, at any time, this shit right here that they try to put together could just go wrong. And not, you know, knowing full circle, like what's going on right now, like as far as like how Rolly was speaking about Turkey and Riyadh season after, it kind of makes sense why he was looking scared.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of shit he was talking behind the scenes and, you know what I'm saying, not knowing what Turkey and them gonna do or, you know, how to, at the end of the day, they Saudis, you know what I'm saying? Like, he talking crazy. Hell, he probably thinking his car gonna blow up or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But when I started putting that into perspective, when I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, Rolly, okay, I see why you was looking nervous like that. You know what I'm saying? Ryan was probably the only person that didn't really look. He embraced it. Like, he all up in the car, his hands. But I mean, he came in the Batmobile, so that is kind of live too. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't even. I had to get that one to you, Ryan. That Batmobile was live. But I mean, tell me your thoughts on the Fatal Fury weekend, Specs, and then I go to you, Chair.
See, for me, the Friday, it was a great setting. Yeah, it was a great setting to be out in Times Square. I like the look of it on the TV. I'm sure if whoever was there as well, like especially in whoever was selected to be inside there, even if he was outside surrounding, watching on the screen, like I'm sure it must have been amazing. But it was strange to me that the only fighter that really came to turn up was Tiafimo. Like, for me, again, in this crop of fighters, it was quite frustrating that these fights weren't more intense. There wasn't there wasn't that sense of urgency to want to show up. Do you know what I mean? I kind of give Devin a little bit, a tiny bit of a blight. Again, I didn't like what he was doing in this fight, but I was thinking from the first couple rounds that he was moving tentative. He was moving like he was still in his head about getting caught and having those knockdowns, and he wanted to fight safely. And it was disappointing, but I understood that he wanted to fight. He wanted to just win the fight so he could then, in my opinion, intensify his focus on that rematch with Ryan and come up to do something, come out again next time to do something. But I really was expecting him to show us something that Friday. So it was frustrating. It
I
was
mean,
very
that's what he said he was gonna do. It's gonna be a
this
new, improved Devin Haney. Like damn it, like he's gonna stop this guy, man. He
this
went
is
in
it.
there, and we could definitely tell this boy's gunshot, man. You know what I'm saying? That Ryan Garcia shit definitely affected Devin Haney, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was gonna see a better Devin, but to be honest.
You still there, Joe?
You got some people. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, you got some people that'll say that, hey, Devin he boxed phenomenally. He boxed well. Like, what you mean? Like, you didn't like what Devin was doing? I'm like, when the hell have we ever seen Devin Haney move that damn much? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was it was a bit extreme, and you know, to me, he got the win. That's what it's about. You can't be mad at that. But if we really keeping it a buck, hey man, Devin didn't look like that. Like,
No.
you know what I'm saying? And Ryan looked fucking worse.
Yes.
off the fucking dope. Just hey man, looking like the nigga had man titties, man. What we doing?
You
I
know,
mean, it was visible, bro. Like that shit was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even want to believe it because Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney, to be honest, clean, that shit was good for boxing. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit was so good for the sport. Like you know what I mean? But him being dirty and now it's just like all tainted and fucked up. It's like, man, come on, Ryan. Like, and then to put the shit all over the toilet, you lost a unanimous decision to Rolly Romero. Like, no disrespect, Rolly, but we know you ain't boxing skills. We never known you for that. We never know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you've been over there with the Cubans at Silas Boxing over there in Las Vegas. So clearly he's gotten better. You see it, no problem. But hey, Rolly, we never knew you for boxing skills and ability. Never did. But the fact that you beat Ryan Garcia by unanimous decision, damn. I can't even talk right. That's what I'm saying. I can't even fucking believe this shit. I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. That was some shit I never thought I would see. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I was gonna bet on it. I was gonna bet on it.
Remember, we called it
for ruining that for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Remember, we called it. I said the only upset on the cards was Ryan and Rolly. That was the only upset that I could see, and especially after the weigh-ins, when I saw how Ryan looked and how Rolly looked, I said this Rolly is looking the best he's ever looked.
For sure.
On paper, Ryan should win, but that thing when you look into the eyes of a man, especially a man that's getting ready to fight the fight he's supposed to fight. I was thinking, so I was more pleased for Rolly. I was pleased that he went and did that job, and then finding out everything afterwards about his experience being on the B side of that fight. I like, do you know what I'm saying? I can only applaud him. I can only applaud and commend even him saying that he wants to see Devin and Ryan run it back still.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, salute to him, consistent the whole way through. He said this at their face off, when they had their face off, the gloves are off, and then after the fight he said it again. So big up Rolly, man, because again, I think people was ready to write Rolly off. People have already. Do you know what I mean? We kind of take Rolly for a bit of a crash dummy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So the fact that he was able to pull that off and throw a spanner in the works, where now we've got a question. You got a question Rolly, and maybe what fight is he gonna be in next, and how he might show up next time round. Because I feel like we're seeing the Rolly that Mayweather had invested in.
No, hey, listen, because look, when you really think about it, hey, he got a hell of a resume, especially compared to a lot of these motherfuckers that's fighting right now.
Oh yeah,
and this motherfucker is a legit world champion, and some people even saying he's a 3-time world champion, which is it's crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? With one real world title and a couple interim joints, but it's like. Damn. No, the rise to Rolly Romero, it got to be studied, bro, because he's not supposed to be there.
Facts.
Bro, he had Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez on his undercard. That is mind-blowing. Motherfucking Teo was Ring Magazine lineal champion.
Yep.
Devin Haney was fucking undisputed. Like, what are they doing on his undercard, dog? What are we kidding? Like, what the hell? Hey, man, Maniac, man, give me your thoughts on him, bro. Is he there?
Maniac, you there?
This man went to go do some push-ups back there or something. Like, what? Anyway, okay, let's keep rolling. And then we had Teo and Barbosa. Teo and Barbosa might have been the best fight on the card. Depending on, how you know what I'm saying? It might have been the best fight. Thought that one was going to be probably a little better of a match. It's only because we saw something similar to the Eubank and Conor Benn situation as far as a slap. But, you know, I mean, T.O. just slapped shit out of him and then just boxed shit out of him. It was easy work. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Sanchez, you back. We was trying to get your input on the Ryan and Rolly.
I wouldn't. I don't really care too much about it for real. I didn't expect much for Ryan. We know he's not a boxer for real. So to break down the fight, shit, I think he had a good jab throughout the fight. Rolly just outworked him. I don't think Rolly beat his ass or nothing. It just seemed like at some point of that fight, Rolly in his corner realized, like, shit, maybe he shell shock or stage fright like the rest of us. Let's just step on the gas and outwork this motherfucker. Because I think everybody on that card had some type of stage fright.
Yeah.
Or performance anxiety. I just think Devin, T.O., and Rolly, those were the teams that said, we got to wake up. We got to put our foot on the gas. It seemed like everybody that won off just outworking they person. Nobody really showed skill gaps for real, if that makes sense. Besides T.O. T.O. had the best case for that. But other than that, man, Rolly came in there, and as trash as I think he is, he showed that, hey, I guess I'm here to stay for now, I guess.
Corrupted Raging, he asked, do we agree with the 118-109 card on Ryan versus Rolly?
Shit.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, it's a bit too wide. Yeah, sorry, Chaz.
No, go ahead, Spence.
No, I thought that was wide. I thought that was too wide for the fight that they fought, and probably the most action we saw was the first 4 rounds. After that, there wasn't much really going on at all. So 118 to 109, again.
It wasn't total domination like that.
Nah, it wasn't total domination like that. Again, to what Maniac was saying, Rolly outworked Ryan, but it wasn't like it wasn't masterful. It wasn't anything. It wasn't like a hallmark performance. The knockdown was amazing. Great. It was great to. What's good, little man? It was great to reminisce, to see the shades of their sparring from how long ago. Do you know what I mean? It was great to see that double hook again. But that was the moment of the fight. Really, everything after that. If Ryan wasn't so gun shy and respecting Rolly's power after that knockdown, he could have fought his way back into the fight.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Now we move to T.O. Barbosa. Ches, tell me your thoughts on T.O. Barbosa. Like I said, I was saying I was thinking it was going to be a more, even though it was probably the best fight on the card, I thought it was going to be a little more action-packed, probably less of a, boxing skill match, only because he slapped him. You know what I'm saying? Only because he slapped him before. So I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a fight, a little bit more personal, something that, and something that Barbosa probably could have got the best of him. But, I mean, T.O. just outclassed this guy. The T.O. I saw, he just looked, just on another level. You know what I mean? Even though Barbosa had moments in the fight, Barbosa fought good, but, I just feel like, T.O., he just showed that he's another level above him. And we pretty much get that Teofimo Lopez in any big fight that he's in. It's Kambosos, I don't really know if we consider that a big fight because he's defending the strap. He was already the champ. He was already the dude.
That is a big fight.
Okay. I'm just saying. Some people might not really consider. I'm saying, like, before Kambosos, who the fuck thought Kambosos would beat Teofimo Lopez?
I didn't think he'd beat him, but I know it
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Apart like Richard
Well,
Cole.
exactly what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't think he was going to like Richard Cole.
Right. It wasn't no fight like that of that magnitude. That's why it took so fucking long for them to do, and so many people didn't really want to pay for that shit.
I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't know. That's context to that. I agree overall what you're saying. I agree overall what you said. But I think if people followed it without the slap even, I still thought it was going to be a better fight because Barboza been calling this dude out for years. And he just never got a fair shake, I guess. I don't know how it was going. Maybe, T.O. getting undisputed and this and that and making these type of moves. Maybe the levels and elevation was just different, for the time. So with that being said, I think by the time this fight flourished, Barboza didn't really get better to me. T.O. adjusted some things, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to the fight, it looked like Barboza them studied the shit out of Kambosos. It looked like he was Kambosos 2.0. And he came in there, he was slow. His shots was he was overshooting his shots. T.O. was able to time him, counter him, just short and sweet. It was basically a sparring match. All T.O. had to do was beat him to the punch. That's it. And I often talk about, like, everybody trains to a rhythm, but elite fighters train to multiple rhythms. Simple fighters, once you break that one rhythm, they're done. You got them figured out. And that's why it looked so simple to T.O. He just went in there and made it look easy. Just like everything he throw, I'm going to just punch with him. I'm just beat him to the punch or throw a snapping jab out there to draw him out and feint counter. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty just the level of experience. That's why experience matters. And, like sometimes will, skill, none of that matters. Experience plays a part, knowing how to manage a round, knowing how to know how many punches to throw per round. Okay, he landed 4. Okay, I need to throw 10. Maybe I'll land 6. And just knowing how to manage time and round. And T.O. had all that shit figured out. That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean, yeah. Shit, that's what it was. Shout out to the Lunatic Libertarian for the super chat. He said Times Square card shit on Turkey wallet leaked a lot. Times Square card, Times Square card, Turkey's wallet leaked a lot. I mean, from what we know about the Saudis, I mean, a lot of them don't even work. So, you know what I mean? I guess you could, leaking, if you saying they ain't make no money, I could probably agree with that, but that ain't hurting Turkey at all. He probably, was looking to lose doing this shit any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's already showed us he's not trying to make money off this shit. Like the way he's overpaying these guys, the amount of money he's spending on marketing, the in-depth visuals that they use to promote the fights. You know what I mean? Those are movie type promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got real live Oscar winning, you know what I'm saying, dudes fucking with him on this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't even recall the guy's name right now. But, Turkey got big time dudes with him on this. Like, he's not fucking around. But at the same time, he's not really making no bread either. You know what I'm saying? He's gaining a lot of clout and definitely a lot of notoriety. But, I don't know. Like, we were talking earlier, and I remember you said something that kind of stuck with me, Specs, about the Saudis trying to do the same thing in soccer. Yeah. And they really didn't have any success doing it. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like, Turkey's trying to do the same thing with boxing, but it's like, yeah, it ain't gonna look how, because I'm pretty sure it's mostly the American fan base, because the shit was in New York, that's shitting on the New York card. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, Turkey, like, you know what I mean? I get it, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because as far as the business of it, the business is to make money. You feel me? But sometimes in business, especially up front and early, you might make a couple of investments. You might not see a return right away. You might see it a couple years down the line. You know what I mean? So I get that part of it too. But Turkey ain't even thinking like that. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? Look how he just partnered with motherfucking Dana White. So he ain't really had no long-term plans with this shit, because he damn near just gave it to a damn slave owner. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who don't like paying his guys, from what we know and the numbers that we can match up, and you know, the information we've divulged. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, I don't know. Sanchez, what do you think about that?
I think overall, the people complaining about the card, whether it's America or just internationally, period, they just showing me. I mentioned this earlier. They showing me they're fans of violence rather than fans of boxing. Like, I get my boxing fix off the Pro Box cards. I get my boxing fix off.
Shout out to Pro Box.
You know what I'm saying? The Team Combat League cards if I need to, or I just go back and watch. And I don't know. I'm just a fan of boxing, so I was able to find entertainment in the Inouye card, or I enjoy FA and Bacoli. You know, surprisingly, I did watch the Munguia fight. I didn't like that fight, but it was some good fights that was on. You know what I'm saying, this weekend. Like I said, I enjoyed T.O. Even though Devin, he didn't fight like I wanted to, I was able to still learn something from that. I seen the adjustment.
What did you learn from the Devin fight?
I seen how he came out. Well, first and foremost, I need people to understand we're humans, so we need habits, right? We're used to habits. And the tradition of boxing is you in the back, you're warming up, you're hitting the pads, you choose your music, you walk out with your team, you feel the crowd, you feel the energy. All that shit was completely different this weekend. Them niggas was driving up in the middle of Times Square with the windows down, fighting outside in the middle of probably the most polluted fucking city in the world. How the fuck you think them niggas felt? You know what I'm saying?
They look scared as shit.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I can only imagine. Them lights is real. That's, bro, performance anxiety is a real thing. Like I said, it's a different, like it's a way to lose.
But it's really a thing when you ain't prepared.
That's what I'm saying. So let's say Barboza. He's not getting criticized as much because he looked good losing. Jose Ramirez, he's not getting criticized much because he looked good losing.
Nah, see, I got Ryan right there. Hell no.
But Ryan is criticized heavily because he looked terrible. And all I'm saying is, if these guys came in here, let's say, and got knocked out, yeah, that looks bad losing, but it's also excitement, right? So all I'm saying is all that plays a part in performance anxiety. And I think all these dudes suffer from that. So when it came to the Devin fight, I was able to learn from that fight. That was complete. That was right after the T.O. fight, I think. I was able to see the adjustment, I think, from like round 5 and up. Bill Haney actually gave probably the best advice, I think, of Devin's career this fight, in my opinion. I have no idea what Shane Moses doing there, but I heard Bill Haney tell him he has to have his feet set to fight to throw punches, and you have to have your feet set to fight and throw punches. So you need to settle down a little bit, but not too much. Then you start seeing Devin stick and move a little bit more and settle down just a little bit and take control of the fight even more. Now we're starting to see, like, okay, yeah, this is Devin's fight. Even though I want to see him do a little bit more. Like, it's certain, like, if you're really a fan of boxing, you can find anything to learn from any fight. And even the Ryan fight, I was able to learn from that. Like, Ryan has a good jab. His distance management is ass. It's trash. Like, every time Rolly was able to smother this nigga, if Ryan missed with the left hook, he's off balance. He can't do nothing. And he's doing the Philly taco shell. Now Rolly just smothering him, throwing punches. Now he's done for. And I feel like that's if you really analyze these fights, man, you can learn a lot from them. Anyway, I ain't even got to say what you can learn from that. Like, you just see that fight, man. That's like, I had to go back and excuse myself because I didn't want to watch it at first. You go back and watch that fight, man. You see angles. You see catching people catching the shoot. You see a game of inches, or ego taking over the game of inches and getting caught in your ego and being able to adjust and bounce back. And like, man, bro, it's so much that went on this weekend. People don't even know. Canelo, people talking about cut the ring off. Yeah, you cut the ring off. You're supposed to know how, but sometimes some fights, getting the job done is just enough. Canelo didn't have to overexert no more energy. Getting that rounds in is just as much as important, especially when I got to spin the block on Bud in September. So he played that perfect. He exerted just enough energy. Okay, well, if let's say hypothetically Canelo in his head, that was Bud in front of him instead of Skull. And he said, okay, if Bud does this, this is how I'm going to react. Maybe that's what he was playing out in his head the whole time. And that's why he ain't going there and stop the nigga. Maybe he was calculating stuff. Maybe he was putting the game plan together because this is who I'm about to fucking fight. This is the next best thing to a black nigga that I have to fight next to Bud. So he's probably analyzing William Skull as Bud in that moment. So it's so many ways you can look at boxing this weekend rather than trashing the shit. That's just my opinion. But I'm biased though, because I love this shit.
Hold on. God Boxing TV says Canelo threw 152 punches. He ain't get shit done. In response to you saying that he was trying to get rounds in, and I'm pretty sure that's what he responded to.
Yeah, he was talking, when I said sometimes you got to go in there and get the job done. But I mean, getting the win is getting the job done, and that's what Canelo did.
And he also said Sanchez is saying some bullshit.
Hey man, it be like that. It be like that.
You know, it's crazy, man. You know what I mean? You know, hey, but
we saw the record. We saw the record in 2 fights. We saw Devin and Ramirez throw the least punches on Friday, and then the next day, Canelo and Skull broke that record.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a shame either way, but as Sanchez is saying, sometimes you just gotta get the job done. You know what I mean? Like we can't always have it the way that we want it. But I would agree to say that maybe Canelo's reaching that point where he's gonna be on the other side of the hill soon, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's a difference between getting out the way of punches and just simply dodging contact, period. And it wouldn't be smart for Canelo to overexert energy. Then you overstepping, you overcalculating your inches. Now you looking trash. Now you don't punch yourself out. Now William Skull got plenty of fucking stamina because he just been moving and dodging you. Now you don't try to excite these fans. You don't punch yourself out. You're making mistakes. You look trash. Nah, bro. Some people might not just get that because they think it cut the ring off. There's so much more to that, bro. But it does play into what Spec's saying too. Yeah, Canelo getting over the hill. So some shit in his mind ain't worth wasting energy. Nigga, this ain't 15 years ago, man. Laura did this to me, bro. Go ahead with that shit.
So if you believe he's at the end, over the hill, getting onto that washed up side, how do you see the fight with him and Bud going?
It's interesting because see, before we was talking about Canelo being the big guy. And for me, initially, I was always saying this is very similar to how we was talking about Fury Usyk 1, where we're saying Fury's the bigger guy and he's going to be able to impose himself on Usyk. But when we saw those two face off at the Day of Reckoning card and you saw Usyk bear hug Fury and lift him up, it was like, oh, he's not that big. He's not that big. And when they faced off after the Canelo Skull fight, Bud was looking damn near bigger than Canelo, in my opinion.
Exactly. Definitely wasn't looking like the smaller guy at all.
And I take into account, if I'm correct, is Bud not older than Canelo? So for me, it just raised the jeopardy of this fight that much more so for Canelo. And I'm really looking on like this is a lifelong athlete in Terence Crawford. Do you know what I mean? And he's always fought to a particular weight, being a wrestler in college and doing all of that. And this guy has an unreal amount of strength and stamina. So if I'm gonna be really, really interested to see him impose himself in a fight that I think Canelo says he wants. He says he wants it, but when he gets there in the mix and he's on the other side of some of them spiteful punches from Bud, I think that's gonna be the fight that, in my opinion, might age Canelo right before our eyes.
I agree with that. And I said this, we know Canelo has a great chin. We know Canelo is very skillful, great head movement, good lateral movement. Like we know this about Canelo, but we know this about Terence Bud Crawford. If this dude in any way, shape, or form stuns, hurts, wobbles Canelo, hey, this shit is a wrap, man. It's not gonna lie, this shit is cookies. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people might go and say, well, look what he did against Masvidal. Well, I mean, he ain't stopped Masvidal. I'm willing to, shit. I ain't gonna lie, Specs, I don't think none of them dudes at 54 stopped Masvidal. Fuck no. I think he's a tough out for any and all opponents at 154 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know what it is, bro.
Like that's the
okay, I'm back. I'm like, what happened? I'm back.
Sorry, go for it, man. Yeah, go for it, my boy.
Y'all cooking right now. No, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure I'm back.
Because again, for me, it's like Canelo has been on a pedestal for a long time. For a very long time. We saw the first chink in the armor against Bivol. We saw a big chink in the armor. We saw Canelo meet his ceiling. You're not going to be at light heavyweight, my guy. You're not picking up a strap there. Get down. Do you know what I'm saying? Go and sit down. Go back to middleweight where you're supposed to be at.
Right.
Yeah. And because he doesn't want to fight Benavidez, he doesn't want to pass the torch. Do you know what I'm saying? It's looking like he doesn't want to pass the torch.
Why though? Like, it wouldn't Benavidez be the nigga you want to get that shit to? Like, he would hold that bitch. I'm talking about that boy will walk with his head high and chest out representing that shit for the rest of his career. Like, why would that? That's why I understand Canelo.
Man,
like,
I feel like it's a
if you don't pass it to anybody, pass it to him, dog. The fuck? Come on, man.
Like, I'm
hating that shit,
boxer,
dog.
bro. Boxers are egotistical, bro. Like, you talking about fighting me, sizing me up, and you want me to pass the torch to you? Fuck you.
Wow.
What you mean?
Wow.
But that fight is like, okay, if you're a mano fighter, yeah, you're a Mexican mano, the end of your career should be on your shield.
Right.
So it should be to the next guy that will carry on the Mexican tradition of boxing that you've upheld for the last 10, 15 years. So it's like, I understand, like, and I'm in agreement with you, but I feel like when he loses, I feel like Bud's gonna beat him. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling that when he loses to Bud, you can't go and now try to have some sentimental fight with Benavidez after. No, you can't. Do you know what I mean? You can't. Right now we're already having the conversation about where's Canelo gonna be in fighters of all time, pound for pound list, greatest Mexican fighters of all time. But for me to cement it, you gotta fight Benavidez, man. You gotta fight it. That's a fight we should see.
See, I get it. I want him to fight Benavidez. I do. And I'm not trying to like put on a cape for him, but like as a fighter, like it has to be that mutual respect there. It has to be that relationship there first. You ain't finna just size me up and you just the next best thing. And I'm gonna say, yeah, you the next best thing. Let me pass the torch to you. No, fuck you. It has to be who we want it to be. Like Canelo just didn't get past the torch.
So do you think people don't want it to be David Benavidez? Are you crazy?
Yeah, we want it to be David Benavidez, but
no, the people, right?
Listen to what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
They want people to like Ryan. They want people like the Oscars and let's say, who did Canelo get the torch passed down to? For him from who did he get the torch from?
I don't really think anybody passed it to him. I think he just developed that kind of shit on his own for real.
He just inherited it because
I don't really think he fought nobody. Or
he got the alley-oop from the legends already. He was already loved.
Well, a couple of them don't fuck with him like that.
Who?
Who don't fuck with Canelo? What's his name? Is it Roberto Duran? Somebody don't fuck with
that
Canelo.
Nigga ain't Mexican.
That's true too.
Yeah, that nigga ain't Mexican. Chavez loved him.
With him.
Yeah, Oscar fucked with him. He used to fuck with him. He got the cosign. All I'm saying is he got the cosign. David Benavidez got the cosign from Mike Tyson. It's different. It's totally different. Like he is the without that Mexican monster shit. Yes, he's a hell of a fighter. All this other shit, but the Mexican monster really saved and rebranded his career for real. Mexicans didn't give him that name. They didn't, and he didn't inherit that from the people.
At first, he was El Bandera Roja.
Exactly, he didn't inherit that love from the people, and they just elevated him up and saying, "You next for Canelo." That didn't happen for Mexican people. That's why
Mexican people definitely want Canelo to fight Benavidez.
Now they do because the world has demanded it. The world has demanded it.
They didn't want it.
No, naturally, the Mexican people didn't just say Benavidez is the next best thing. We need Canelo and Benavidez. If it wasn't for this Mexican monster shit, this whole little fandom thing, him calling people out, beating Caleb Plant, and all that shit. If it wasn't for that, this passing of the torch shit would never exist. They'll be looking at Jaime Munguia or some type of nigga.
Okay. If it's not a passing of the torch, it's a change of the guard. Yeah? Forget passing the torch. You're not the guy no more. And the reason you're not the guy is because the next guy in the next class is coming for your spot. He's been mirroring you and shadowing you for the longest time. So either you see him or step aside.
And it's like, bro, you rather keep bringing these little dudes up from 2 weight classes back instead of fighting this man, dog. That's where it's crazy. That's where it's crazy for me at. You know what I'm saying?
Fighting nobody's.
This is the reality of it, man. I like David Benavidez. I rock with him, but the reality of it is he's basically a machismo Mexican. He's the typical.
Bro, all that don't matter, man. Why
it does matter. He's also.
Why does him being a machismo Mexican?
Listen, what I'm saying. He's a machismo Mexican. He's not that fucking interesting because niggas didn't know who he was until Mike Tyson gave him that brand.
That's not true. That's not true.
Man, come on, man. Okay, boxing fan. We knew his skill. Other than that, the nigga is not interesting, bro. He's not interesting. Then on top of that, the nigga got stripped of his title twice.
Why?
One, because he couldn't put down the booger sugar. The other one,
exactly. That's interesting. A lot of people be interested. They be like, damn, he used to be on cocaine. Now he's whooping ass like that.
Exactly.
That's interesting, dog.
Tell me at what point in Canelo's career he has to fight this man.
I understand. I understand. There isn't a have to, but it's the fight that makes sense. It's like these two. Hear me, humor me, yeah. Because every time I see Benavidez' son come out and throw one of them combos and that there, yeah, at the weigh-in, and then we've seen footage of Canelo's child as well. Yeah. I'm like, bro, this could be Ben Eubank all over again.
All right.
These two have a hallmark fight. Yeah. If their sons follow their footsteps, 35 years down the line, or 30 years, bro, damn near 20 years down the line. We know how talent goes nowadays. They're just getting younger and younger. We could have a pick'em fight that would be a legacy fight, a Mexican legacy fight. Two of the arguable greatest fighters of Mexican history come together, and then their sons do it. We don't get that often. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like those two have the ingredients. Like that, the build up for that fight would be hallmark. That would be Hall of Fame stuff, man. That would be stuff that we'll never forget.
Would you agree, Specs, that right now Canelo and Benavidez is the biggest fight in boxing?
Yeah, I would. I would. Yeah. And it's actually because it's time for a change of the guard. That's why I'm saying Canelo is nearly over the hill.
Yeah.
After he fights Crawford, we're gonna be having the conversation. That's gonna be the conversation being had. Because even if Crawford, we know Crawford's gonna put in a spirited performance. He's gonna put in a performance of a lifetime. And if Canelo can't weather that storm convincingly, it's over. It's over. Everyone's gonna be. Your time's up, my guy. Yeah. You've had an amazing run. You've done amazing things. It might be time for you to go and fight Jake Paul and ride off into the sunset now. But you really should have fought Benavidez before you done any of this stuff. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the fight for years that everybody's gonna say that was the fight that was meant to happen.
Excuse me. Yeah, hey, man. Thank you. Nah, but you're right though, because it's like Canelo. They're saying that they put you up here on this pedestal. You're this, you're this, you're this. And yeah, you know, when you look at the career, you've had an excellent career. You've had your resume is excellent. You've been undisputed, trying to go for 2-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Multiple division world champion. You know, quote unquote, the face of boxing. You know, pay-per-view star. So you got a lot of different accolades. You know, from a Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, bro, it's like, why? Yes, you deserve to be doing some of this shit that you're doing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like you've put in the work. You know what I'm saying? You've done what needs to be. You fought legends. We get it, bro. But why is it that with this particular guy, like you don't wanna fucking do it? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, but see, the thing about it is too, though, and David Benavidez is starting to do this really well now because, to be honest, bro, Canelo he's enhancing. He is enhancing the aura of David Benavidez by not fighting this guy. Like the longer you hold it off Canelo, the more the aura is gonna build. Like he is a monster. He is, you know what I'm saying, someone that you need to stay away from. Like he didn't went up. So you went up to 175 to chase greatness when you thought Bivol was one of the weaker guys up there. You know what I'm saying? That shit failed. Try again, Canelo, because now Benavidez is up there. And guess what? He got the WBC strap. So go fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you fighting Bud, dog? You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it's gonna be fucked up because if Bud beat this nigga, oh man. I don't even know what Bud could do after that, bro. For real.
Bro.
That man gonna be on top of the world, dog. Like real talk. Like that shit is gonna be really insane. Bud beats Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like
Can I go on record and say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Usually I pick a lot of fights with the most precision I can, the most critical thinking I can. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care. I'm picking Bud. Even if I'm wrong, I'm picking him. I'm picking him because out of all the things besides the power and the weight, Bud is better. If I break it down in categories, his footwork is better. If I want to say, I'm gonna give defense to Canelo. I think Canelo defense is way more creative, and his defense is better. As far as hand speed, I'm giving that to Bud. Explosiveness, I give that to Canelo. Jab, Bud. Power, Canelo. But, however, progressive power is different. See, I'm going to give the power to Canelo, but the strength to Bud. I'm going to give Bud the strength advantage. So, IQ, that's subjective to whoever want to pick for real. What else? What else can I go? Just skill for skill, I'm going with Bud. His bag is just deeper. So if I break it down to categories, I think Bud is going to outweigh Canelo. So I don't care if I'm wrong, bro. Bud is just not doing this for him, bro. I think he's just like what Adrian Broner said he doing this. What he doing this for? This is what Bud is really doing this for. And I got way more faith.
With the H-O-O-D.
O-O-D. He's really doing this for us. And he's the one that's going to take this shit serious. For sure. I'm going with Bud. I got Bud unanimous decision.
Yeah. Bud unanimous.
Close unanimous. Close
crazy.
unanimous. Close unanimous. I'm gonna say 114, 111.
I was gonna say 115, 113.
Okay.
So yeah.
If we get a 115, 113, I think that'll rob him, or it'd be a majority decision. I don't think it'd be that close of a majority decision. I think he'll have to take control at least 2 rounds for it to be at least unanimous.
Is there a knockdown in there?
No, not in mine. But it's a couple hurts, couple stumbles. How I see it in my head is Bud's counterpunching is it's so hard, man. I wish I could just jump to like highlights of him. But his counterpunching is his timing is on point, it's impeccable, and it comes with combinations. And he switched from orthodox to southpaw. So it's so many angles he can hit you from just from his counterpunching. Canelo's counterpunching is simple, but very effective. It's explosive. It's simple. It's similar to Tank. Tank's counterpunching based off your rhythm, your timing. Canelo has a timing. Maybe I can get up and show you. But Canelo has a timing to where he sits here and he does this. And he's waiting on you. And with this, is more front foot work than anything. All right. Bud is more, his timing is more like this. And he's up and down with it while he's inching in. And I don't know. I just feel like that explosiveness from Canelo is going to wear down over time throughout those rounds. And Bud is just going to progressively keep getting better and better and better. My bad. That's a long take, but that's my take. How I see it.
Yeah, no, that was long as shit, but it was good though. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was cool.
It's true.
It was good. I did like that. I mean, to be honest, man, I had a whole another plan of how we was gonna go, but I knew once we started going with this Eubank and Ben, we was going. So we gonna how we was gonna run it today, Specs. Che, we gonna run like that tomorrow, man. You know what I mean? It's been a great episode, man. It's been another episode of Who Gonna Catch These Hands. I'm your boy Joe Prophet. Like I said, I'm always tapped in with my guys. You know, matter of fact, check them out, Specs. Tell them where they can catch you at, man.
Come, boy. It's your boy Specs. You can find me on the socials, Specs Spectacle, Mr. Hold Tight the Game. You know what I'm saying? Catch me in the Boxing Council as well on Clubhouse. You know.
Let's get it. Cheers, man. Where they find you at, man?
Maniac McGee, man. Y'all can find me on Instagram, TikTok. Find me at Poppy_Maniac. Shit. Y'all see me in the background right here. Y'all see me right here. Hey, man, me and Joe, we got something coming up later this year. OSOS, who gonna catch these hands? We got big things coming this year. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. This ain't just a
Mm-hmm.
regular boxing platform like the rest of them on YouTube. We different. We got everybody in here. Watch what I tell you. 2025 is gonna be huge, bro.
Let's get it. Now we appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Hey, listen, we see y'all tomorrow, man. We keep it rolling. You heard? Peace.
Peace.